23F aspiring personal trainer, 21M aspiring filmmaker. Do your worst. This pic looks like a porn spin-off of X-Men featuring Overbite Mystique and Professor Extra Large. I kind of love the idea of a bootleg superhero whose greatest nemesis is stairs. Good luck trying to wheel your way out of the friend zone, bud. The only benefit she's after is the handicapped parking spots. Their filmmaking debut. Rated G for GIMP. In these times, you should try practicing proper social distancing, 6 rows away from one another. When Harry met Flabby. Sounds like a bedtime story you'd tell to euthanized children. A travel ban for him is any place involving stairs. She looks like she only brushes her 2 front teeth. I got it, you guys wanna make porn. She makes porn. He sits outside camera view and cries softly. Why do people who can't walk always have the nicest shoes? Your man has bigger tits than you. The last thing my ex said to me was, you broken daddy issued C, couldn't get off unless you were treated like a dirty desperate whore. I'm okay now though. There are easier ways to get people to PM you. Right. Tinder, Puff and all the other apps didn't work out, so here she is on Reddit. I recommend she try the PayPal app if she wants to get laid. Glad you found a way to reuse that college rejection letter. You can't call your last customer your ex. All her customers are ex because none of them ever come back. You look like you say my ex to refer to your one-night stand 6 weeks ago. 6 years ago. That face says he was right. Gal Gadot. I'm willing to bet your forearms look like you got into a sparring match with Freddy Krueger. You're one of those girls who's not happy unless you're getting male attention, and that's because you have no idea how to love yourself. You're only here because you want attention and validation, even if it means people say mean things about you. You have the sex appeal of a handicapped school bus fire, 25, about to be a dad for the first time. Congrats. Who's the real father? You're the dad from the commercials that gets stuck in the blinds. This dude doesn't need to buy a baby monitor. With those ears, he can hear the baby thinking about crying. Make sure you keep up on that child support. Kidnapping a child isn't a valid reason to start calling yourself a dad. And how is your sister handling her pregnancy? You already look like you've been a dad for 10 years. I feel bad for the kid already. Every dad, especially first-time dads, have a little voice inside them telling them that they'll never be good enough, that they'll never get it right, that they're doing everything wrong. Your voice is right. Well, here's hoping it looks like the mother. Should have used a condom, your dad I mean. I'm sure you and your husband will make amazing dads. 24 Aussie. Roast time. And just in case people don't believe your nationality, you use boomerangs as eyebrows. From those manly features I'm guessing she also has a didgeridoo down under, if you know what I mean. That jaw is so tough. Chris Brown took one look at it and said, nah. We don't get much rock and roll news from down under, but I hear you have a new album out. Sees a regular size vagina that's not a vagina. Pulls down pants to reveal a giant vagina. This is a vagina. I see it's not just the koalas in Australia that are dopey as fuck and riddled with chlamydia. You are the worst disaster to hit Australia all year. What's up, Spicoli? A stingray wouldn't even poke that. You look like Brie Larson had a bad allergic reaction. They wanted to be roasted together this time. Make them cry. When half your best friend's face is covered with a birthmark and you are still the ugly one. It looks like the one on the left is allergic to fat girls. Two-Face on the left seems like the obvious choice, but then you realize Honey Boo Boo on the right made a conscious decision to get that garbage-ass tattoo. The P looks like it has balls hanging from it. Fat man and Two-Face, terrorizing public housing like some villains. Welcome to Thotham City. The girl on the left looks like she paints her nails with whiteout and the one on the right looks like she drinks whiteout. The girl on the left already looks roasted. Waiting for your ride back to your trailer park after giving a 2-for-1 special. Left, it must be nice to be able to have bruises on your knees and not have anyone think you are giving anyone head. Right, the result of a Cabbage Patch Kid having a kid with the personification of sadness. The only thing hot about these two is the sensation while pissing in the days following screwing them. I shaved my head for fun to see what it would look like. Roast me harder than I do myself. You look like an unbreaded McNugget that fell in Ireland. Speaking from experience I see. What other unholy deeds have you performed? Perfect hourglass figure. Shea mitts on your head. He looks like someone who would sexually assault a fairy. Trust me, with a mouth like that, nobody's noticing a haircut. It's like SpaghettiOs surfacing in the sauce. Good to see gum disease is alive and well. Leave him alone. It's not often that adults are able to keep their baby teeth. Big Mac Miller. Good that your eyes are practicing social distancing. You look like the final boss in an autism video game. Nurse doing a night shift and need a good roasting. Attending heart and lung surgical patients on one side and playing WoW in my cave on the other. Give it to me. So you are an awful healer in all realities. Her guild is suing her for malpractice. You're kinda like Typhoid Mary, but more like a Chlamydia Claudia. Well, there goes my nurse fantasy. Such honorable and unselfish job. You're paying it forehead. For real though, her forehead is so big, her dreams play in IMAX. If I'm paying out the ass in hospital bills and this is the nurse I get, just pull the damn plug on me. I'm also a CT surgery nurse. You're exactly the kind of nurse that unashamedly tries to blow an intern in the supply room to try and get your meal ticket. You look like someone who tells people she is a girl gamer at every available opportunity to substitute for your non-existent personality. You're the one girl in every guild who has to make sure everyone knows she has a vagina and unknowingly makes sexual innuendos for attention because she doesn't get enough of it at home. Unfortunately, everyone thinks she is a 50-year-old truck driver masquerading as a girl. That would actually be a step up. Perfect nurse for the job. You wouldn't want an attractive nurse to get the heart patients all riled up. Here you can be ignored just like you were all throughout high school. 27 years, full-time web developer. Have congenital nystagmus and diagnosed ADHD. Let's get this over with, make me regret living. You look like a single-episode cartoon villain that was made only to make the regular villain look better. He looks like Peter Parker, but instead of powers, the spider gave him herpes and a horseshoe beard. Hey Beaker, how's the rest of the Muppets? Doctor didn't mention that you also have congenital butt cheeks forehead? You look like you should be on the board game Guess Who? Who put Louis C.K. on the medieval rack? Something tells me you already regret living. He definitely regrets wasting money on that second chair for his dining room table that never gets used. You look like the before version of a serial killer. ADHD and nystagmus are minor defects when you're born a ginger. I love roasting gingers. You don't have to worry about them getting depressed because they're soulless. Roast my crackhead stoner friend. She had to practice on the napkin first. Just like her brother. If only her dad had practiced into a napkin. She looks like she abuses the phrase "I don't usually do this." She looks like she would do a lot for 5.00. Bitch so stoned she forgot to paint her nails on her right hand. Bitch so stoned she tried writing r/roastme on the napkin twice before she realized she could just write it on the paper placemat. Is she the teacher trying to date her students, or the other way around? Either way, she rides through the entire semester with a D. Has to remind herself via nail polish which hand is for the pink and which is for the stink. How did you squeeze all that face on such a tiny head? That nose was on my math final. Hi, I am a recovering crackhead and this is my retarded friend that I take care of. I would like some welfare please. Give me some fresh roasting. You look like you finger yourself to the Food Network. How about I give you a gym membership instead? She would sell it online and use the money to buy more food. How much did it cost you to hire an aerial photographer for this picture? I think you've had enough roast. This is every fat girl trying to hide the fact that she is fat on Tinder. Sign says r/roastme, pic says my boobs are how I seek attention and validation. If Peter Griffin of Family Guy were a woman. I think I look like an ugly Meg. This might be the biggest insult Meg has ever gotten. Eat a vegetable for God's sakes. Showing your cleavage doesn't distract away your obesity. My last brain cells died posting this. The new Wolfman movie looks terrifying. It's the Bollywood version. Straight out of Mumbai. The good news is, your eyebrows will always be there for you. Honestly, I wish I had as much hair on my head as you have perched over your eyes. Taking a quick break from running IRS scams to have read it stroke his inferiority complex before going home to disappoint his arranged wife. Money in your bank account equals space between your eyebrows. I don't think the call center pays him that much. Ever thought of donating your eyebrows to make wigs for cancer patients? You could help at least 10 sick children. Looks like you've got a bird instead of an eyebrow. I named thee, eyesore. Your ass is probably so hairy, that it catches every turd in a hairbag which you have to shave off after shitting and let go into the sunset on a river as a child you cannot take care of. Thank God driving a cab to and from Heathrow doesn't require brain cells. I'm bored AF right now. Make me feel a little hurt. It's the cash me outside girl, but instead of fighting you, You just get a mediocre BJ in a Pontiac Sunfire, and smell like Victoria's Secret body spray for the next 3 days. Wallow easy. You look like a dude using the female filter on Snapchat. You look like a young Lindsay Lohan if she skipped all the Disney movie shit and went straight to being present-day Lindsay Lohan. You're definitely in my league and I'm gay. The one good thing about that distracting underbite is that it makes me think less about your face being shaped like a ping pong paddle. $10 says you have YOLO tattooed somewhere on your lower back/upper butt. You look like you need to study hard for your pap test. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and leave your comments.